Hey everybody, thanks for watching. We are getting right down to it. The fantasy playoffs are well underway. You're looking at those Week 15 semifinal lineups. You're feeling a little sick to your stomach, and we're here to try and help you out and talk about some of your most anxiety-provoking players. Hey, I'm Chris, and actually, today on Twitter, I asked you your most commonly freaked out about player for your lineup in Week 15. I got a lot of responses, and so the idea of today's show here is to show you some film on some of the guys who we're most questioning whether we should still have in our lineups. We'll see what conclusions we can get to. We're going to show you ranks. We'll scroll you my initial Week 15 ranks as we go along, but realize they are initial. So I hope you will continue throughout the week to check out the updated ranks at harrisfootball.com. Your most asked about player, and it wasn't close. Let's talk about him. Washington wide receiver Terry McLaurin. I still have McLaurin as wide receiver 17 this week, though that's of course only if Alex Smith plays. But I mean, just at the absolute wrong time, you're getting a Terry McLaurin slump. Is it a McLaurin slump or is it someone else? I mean, if you watch this one back and watch him operate out of the right slot, I think he made a great cut. I think he's wide open, but our buddy, the American Ninja Warrior, just missed the throw. So maybe it isn't McLaurin slump, right? He's split wide left on Richard Sherman. It's 3rd and 7. He runs a lovely hook route, and he's open. And really, I pay no attention to him slipping down there. As we watch the replay, you'll see the ball was just spiked. It was way too short. McLaurin fell down because he was being asked to come back too far for the bad throw. What I want to convince you most of all is that Terry McLaurin is a number 1 NFL receiver. He's not just some fast, deep threat. Watch this completion out of the left slot. To be able to cut like that, completely throw his hips into the cut on the dead run, even with the corner playing outside technique, he's a really good player. I mean, Dwayne Haskins is in at this point last Sunday, and you're kidding me. This counts as a target for Terry McLaurin? Oh yes, curse you, Terry McLaurin. You really should have caught that target I threw you. Now, let's be fair. Past couple weeks, McLaurin has been complicit in these problems against the Steelers out of the slot. We're going to get a closer look at it again in a second. It would have been a good catch, and he wasn't officially given a drop on this play, but come on, that's a drop, right? You got to catch that, dude. And the reason I know he should have caught that one is the week before we started having agita about using Terry McLaurin, he made this play, a very similar route on a very similar ball. He usually makes that play, and if he had against the Steelers, then our whining would have decreased. And I just want to remind you, this is an elite speed guy. He's shown toughness over the middle. This kind of play, it can happen. It's on the table any week. Even though these past 2 weeks, it has not happened. I think partly it's been the quarterback not playing very well. It's been frustrating. It has been frustrating. So here's the thing. When everyone agrees the receiver is good and the problem is that the ball isn't finding him, I can't sit here and tell you I'm 100% positive the ball is going to find him Sunday against Seattle. I can't see the future. I understand feeling burned and feeling the impulse to move away from using a player. I'd have a hard time doing it with McLaurin, but I can't prove anything. I still do have him top 20, though, and I think I would be using him. Okay, I'll get back to your Week 15 lineup questions in just a moment. First, let's thank our sponsor. If you've been spending some time on your sofa lately and realize it's not so good, well, I want to introduce you to Burrow. I think Burrow is a genius idea. Let me tell you why. Why do I say genius idea? In the past, when you thought about what to do for a new sofa, it was either get a super high-priced sofa from a retail store or get a hard-to-put-together sort of rinky-dink sofa delivered. Burrow is the perfect blend here. It's luxury furniture. I have a Burrow sofa. I watch football on it every Sunday, and it gets delivered direct to you, and it's so easy to put together and take apart again if you need to, if you're moving. It'll take you 10 minutes to assemble. No tools necessary. It's just engineered brilliantly. Burrow sofas look great. They feel great. You have tons of color and style and size choices. Get the sofa you want. Get other lovely furniture to go with it. stain-resistant fabric, just a great deal on what is truly wonderful furniture. Every order has free fast shipping. Go check them out. I think you'll be glad you did. I love mine. Plus, we'll get you $75 off right now. Burrow.com/HarrisTube. Okay, as my initial Week 15 ranks continue to scroll, let's talk about someone else that you're freaking out a little bit about on Twitter, and I completely understand it. Who wouldn't understand why people are worried about Steelers receiver Deontay Johnson? Of course, you know why. It's because the dude has 7 drops the past 3 games, 11 drops on the season. And I don't know, maybe you want to quibble with 1 or 2 of these being categorized as drops, but mostly he's in his own head and can't catch the ball. And he got benched for a significant chunk of the Bills game on Sunday night. And if you're using him this coming Monday night against the Bengals, you have to be terrified that 1 more drop could get him benched for the entire rest of a game. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked just in the past few days, really? You're going to make me go through this again? Now, finally, toward the end of the third quarter on Sunday, Johnson came back in, and he better have caught these short balls because he might have been exiled to the South Pole. But he did get used, and he did make the catches, and you'd have to believe this was part of trying to have him come back. Right, to just come back from the brink. Certainly, the Steelers are also trying to come back on the scoreboard, but they're also trying to instill some confidence in the kid. And his talent is just obvious. Like, even on such a terrible night, he's split wide left. Tre'Davious White tries to manhandle him at the top of his route, and Johnson is just too quick. He beats him for a slant. He's such a good receiver from the wrists north. There's this notion now that the Steelers never go down the field. Sure, on average, the time before Big Ben throws has gotten shorter, but this is just a few weeks ago, this bomb to Johnson. And here's old prototypical Big Ben from years past. It's a runaround play where he throws it on the move, and, look at where the throw winds up, and look at Johnson reaching behind himself to grab it. Like, you'd almost think he has good hands there. And I know I'm asking you to have faith when the floor is him dropping another ball and getting benched forever, but Johnson really is the special sauce. He's what makes the Steelers' pass offense go. He's incredibly quick. He's fast. He has plenty of good hands plays on film, and in the open field, he's a terror. Having him at number 21 among wideouts this week, that's low for where I've had him normally, and I admit it's scary. I think playing him in a lot of flex comparisons, listen, the fact is that the 6 games before Sunday, Johnson had double-digit targets every single one. And he's basically had that every week. He hasn't been benched or hurt. It is scary. I'm keeping the faith, kind of. Is number 21 keeping the faith? Kind of. I'm losing a little more faith in Tyler Lockett. As you can see on the receiver scroll, he's my wide receiver 25, inching further and further down. And the point is, boy, it's been a long time since these plays, since this game against the Cardinals, right? He had 15 catches, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Is it a bad sign that nearly a quarter of Lockett's yards on the entire season came in a single game? I'm going to say yes. It's been real slow in the 7 games since this. And it's not like this dude has some litany of bad plays all over his film since then. This is the only drop I could find from the second half of Lockett's season. It's not like he got punished for it. It was a scramble drill. Should have caught it, but it's not a huge deal. So this is what we have to deal with. Why isn't a ball finding a good player? Let's use this play as an example. You'll see Lockett in the slot right, DK Metcalf is wide left, and David Moore is wide right. Now, I know we want the quarterback to defer to our guy, but you see where the safety help is, right? Metcalf's side of the field, which means we are talking pure man coverage on Moore at the bottom of the screen. And let's just watch Lockett's route at the snap. You can see that he's run a good little crossing route. He's open, right? And there's no one in front of him. It might actually be a big play if Wilson checks it down to Tyler Lockett. It's pretty obvious Russ never even looks at it. He had in his mind pre-snap that he wanted the shot to Moore, And he takes it, and it's perfect, and more absolutely drops it. But did something to go wrong here for Lockett, right? No, Lockett ran a good route. The ball didn't find him. On this one, Lockett goes in motion behind DK Metcalf and then comes back again, and it turns into jet motion. And if we watch what happens at the snap, I mean, Lockett's open there. If Wilson wants to feed him a little screen pass, that's just not the focus here. It is a play call that's intended to get Lockett out of the way, get the defense distracted because they're looking to go to Metcalf on the little hook. And on this one, it's Metcalf who's in motion, and he and Lockett wind up stacking, and we'll let it run, and then we'll freeze it when Lockett gets to the top of his break. You can see Russell Wilson scrambling forward and reading the defense, and he reads that the DB over there winds up stepping backwards to cover Lockett's corner route, and that explains why Wilson throws it shallow to Metcalf. Here's Lockett's only touchdown since week 7, and my point is, nobody thinks Tyler Lockett has gotten bad, and it's probably been a combination of defensive formations and offensive game plan, and also just DK Metcalf being an unstoppable force of nature, all of which has Lockett on this cold streak. Against Washington, hard matchup. I mean, would anyone be shocked if Lockett scores? Of course not. He has 26 touchdowns the last 3 years combined. But a bad 7-game streak is a heck of a lot worse than a bad 2-game streak. And in some flex comparisons, I can see sitting Tyler Lockett. And lastly, many of you asked about Miles Sanders and how in the world could we ever think of benching Miles Sanders a week after he did this against a very good Saints run defense, 82 yards, long touchdown, won everybody their weeks, even scored another touchdown, we'll show you in a second. All is totally forgiven for this underwhelming season, right? Right? Here's the thing, you know this, a lot of this disappointing season for Sanders has nothing to do with him. Let's watch this play on an early 4th down in this game when Miles Sanders got stuffed on a 3-yard loss. We're going to run it back, and we're going to watch number 27, Malcolm Jenkins. Now, personally, it may just be me. I think the plan should be try to block the defensive players, and they don't. And blown assignments like this happen all the time with that Eagles offensive line. There are just a lot of plays where there's no blocking and no progress and nothing to be done. And I'm sorry to say, sure, Sanders had 82 yards on that one run. He had 33 yards on his other 13 runs combined. And people are making kind of a deal about Jalen Hurts and the zone read potentially unlocking Sanders a bit more. And it's true, that long touchdown we showed you definitely was a zone read. Definitely froze a defender and got Sanders loose, and more of that, please. But it also resulted in a lot of blah on Sunday, too. And I think largely I'm just sort of willing to blame the mess on the offense writ large. But this one worked, too. I think we can look at Hurts' ascension as a positive, at the zone read as a positive, and this was a harder matchup last week than Arizona's going to be in Week 15, and it's a bad running back landscape out there. In my initial ranks, I have Sanders at RB14. If I were matching him up flex-wise with the receivers we talked about here, I think I'd probably use him over Lockett, and I think I'd probably use McLaurin over him, and then if I'm comparing Miles Sanders and Deontay Johnson, I'm flipping a coin. Probably flipping a coin. Listen, if you're looking for a reason not to use Deontay Johnson because of the ridiculous floor that he has if he drops one more ball, it would be fine with me if you used Miles Sanders in that comparison. I think it's close. If you're looking for upside, though, Deontay Johnson almost can't be beat when it comes to upside. I hope I have addressed some of your concerns in your Week 15 lineups. I hope you had some fun watching this film. Please remember to keep checking out harrisfootball.com, where I will continue to update the ranks all week and into the weekend as well. And let's thank Burrow for sponsoring. If you're looking for a new sofa, I cannot recommend it enough. You can't see it. Mine is right over there. You saw a picture of it earlier. I absolutely love it and stand by Burrow. Fantastic product. We get $75 off when you go to burrow.com/HarrisTube. If you're in the market for a sofa, I hope you will. Support the sponsors. It's how the channel keeps going. Mostly it keeps going, though, because of you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.